Direction matters more than speed, yet modern life constantly teaches us the opposite. We are surrounded by messages that celebrate quick results, rapid growth, and immediate success. People admire those who move fast, who achieve early, and who seem to always be in motion. However, this obsession with speed often hides a more important question that many people avoid asking. Am I moving towards something that actually matters to me? Speed creates the illusion of progress. When you are constantly busy, when your schedule is full, and when you are always working on something, it feels as if you are moving forward. But activity is not the same as progress. You can invest time, energy, and effort into something that ultimately leads you nowhere meaningful. In that case, speed does not help you. It simply accelerates your distance from where you truly want to be. Direction, by contrast, requires a different kind of effort. It demands reflection, self-awareness, and sometimes even discomfort. You have to pause and examine your choices. You need to question your motivations, your values, and your long-term goals. This process is slower, and it can feel uncertain, especially when you do not have clear answers. Yet it is precisely this clarity, once developed, that gives meaning to every action you take afterward. One of the reasons people prioritize speed over direction is fear. Slowing down feels risky in a world that rewards visible progress. If you take time to think, to explore, or even to hesitate, it may seem like you are falling behind. Meanwhile, others appear to be moving ahead quickly, reaching milestones, and gaining recognition. This comparison creates pressure, and under that pressure, many people choose motion over meaning. However, what we often fail to see is that fast movement without clear direction leads to fragile success. When your path is not aligned with your values, your achievements can feel empty, even if they look impressive from the outside. You might reach a goal only to realize that it does not satisfy you. At that moment, the problem is not your speed. The problem is that you followed a direction that was never truly yours. Choosing direction over speed changes the way you make decisions. Instead of reacting to every opportunity, you begin to evaluate whether it fits your broader purpose. You become more selective, not because you lack ambition, but because you understand the cost of distraction. Every choice carries a consequence, and not every opportunity deserves your time. This awareness allows you to move with intention rather than urgency. Moreover, direction creates a deeper sense of stability. When you know where you're going, you're less affected by external noise. Trends, opinions, and comparisons lose some of their power over you. You no longer feel the need to constantly prove yourself through rapid progress. Instead, you focus on consistency and alignment. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also strengthens your ability to stay committed over time. Another important advantage of having direction is resilience. Challenges are inevitable, regardless of how fast or slow you move. But when your actions are guided by a clear sense of purpose, obstacles become easier to endure. They're no longer signs that you should stop, but signals that you need to adapt. You understand that setbacks are part of the process, not the end of it. This perspective allows you to continue even when progress feels slow or uncertain. In contrast, when speed is your main focus, any delay can feel like failure. You may become impatient, frustrated, or even discouraged. This emotional instability often leads people to quit too early or to switch directions impulsively. Ironically, the desire to move fast can result in a lack of real progress because it prevents long-term commitment. It is also important to recognize that direction is not a fixed destination. It evolves as you grow. Your experiences, your knowledge, and your understanding of yourself will change over time. As a result, your direction may need to be adjusted. This does not mean you were wrong before. It simply means you are becoming more aware. The key is to remain flexible while staying intentional. Reflection should not stop once you choose a path. It should continue as part of your journey. There is a subtle but powerful difference between being driven and being directed. A driven person moves with energy and determination, but without direction, that energy can be scattered. A directed person, on the other hand, channels their effort toward a meaningful goal. Their progress may appear slower at times, but it is far more sustainable. Over time, this consistency often leads to deeper and more lasting results. Another aspect that is often overlooked is the relationship between direction and fulfillment. When your actions align with your values, even difficult tasks feel worthwhile. You are not simply chasing outcomes. You are building something that reflects who you are. This alignment creates a sense of purpose that cannot be achieved through speed alone. Fast success may bring temporary satisfaction, but meaningful direction creates lasting fulfillment. Many people realize this only after they have spent years moving quickly in the wrong direction. They reach a point where they feel disconnected from their own lives. Despite their achievements, they experience a sense of emptiness. This is not because they failed, but because they succeeded in something that did not truly matter to them. At that stage, starting over can feel overwhelming, which is why direction should be considered early, not as an afterthought. At the same time, focusing on direction does not mean you should become passive or overly cautious. Action is still essential. The difference lies in the intention behind that action. Instead of rushing blindly, you move with awareness. You accept that you may not have complete certainty, but you still choose a path that feels meaningful. Then you adjust as you learn. This balance between clarity and action is what allows real progress to happen. In many ways, direction functions like a guiding principle rather than a strict plan. It does not control every step you take, but it influences the choices you make. Even when you face unexpected situations, your direction helps you respond in a way that remains aligned with your values. Without it, you are more likely to be influenced by external pressures or temporary emotions. It is also worth considering that speed often distracts us from the deeper lessons of the journey. When everything happens quickly, there is little time to reflect, to learn, or to grow. Slower progress, while sometimes frustrating, allows for deeper understanding. It gives you space to develop skills, to build resilience, and to refine your perspective. These qualities are essential for long-term success, yet they cannot be rushed. Ultimately, life is not about how quickly you arrive at a destination, but about whether that destination is meaningful to you. Moving fast may impress others, but it does not guarantee satisfaction. Direction, on the other hand, ensures that your efforts are connected to something that truly matters. It transforms your journey from a race into a purposeful experience. So, before you focus on increasing your speed, take a moment to examine your direction. Ask yourself whether your current path reflects your values, your goals, and your sense of purpose. This pause may slow you down in the short term, but it will guide you more effectively in the long run. Because in the end, it is not how fast you move that defines your life, but where your movement is leading you.